Abel Carretero and Miguel Arceño. And just a few meters behind them, there's the Chinese Hoka athlete Wang Fumen. But now we're running together the Otso athlete and the HG athlete, Abel Carretero and Miguel Arceño. And we're trying to catch up with Abel Carretero right now, leading the 111 Swiss Canyon Trail, the sixth stop of the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors, as they go through the village straight out to the aid station we were watching before they were getting ready. It is our current men's leader, Aleix Todamas from Spain, the Camper Sport athlete. He's not alone. He's running together with Abel Carretero, with Miguel Arceño. We're gonna have a beautiful battle. They haven't reached still the middle point, the halfway point of this 111K. They are almost 3 hours and 44 minutes elapsed from when they started. They are getting closer to the 40K mark. And after they've already done the highest peak, the Chasseron, on today's race, that's over 1,600 meters above sea level. They're getting towards the 40.8K mark, back down in town. So let's see these great images we're having right now of the back of 4 leaders. We're currently watching Aleix Toda, but it's also Abel Carretero, Miguel Arceño, all running together here. So let us know where you're watching right now as we see Aleix Toda. All right.
Direct pour Florian. Remontez pas trop loin, je les ai récupérés, je suis avec la tête. Donc vous emmerdez pas à remonter 5 bornes non plus. C'est dur à dire, je sais pas trop, mais 10 minutes, 15 minutes, grand max.
All right. We should be back right now. As we see Marianne Hogan, also our women's leader. We're having fantastic images of Marianne Hogan, our Canadian leader of the 111K Swiss Canyon Trail on our Gran Canaria World Trail Major Series. Starting the summer, almost kicking off the summer with 2 races. Today we have here in Switzerland, we have the Swiss Canyon Trail, and in Great Britain, in England, exactly, we're having the South Down Ways, 2 iconic elder races, considering today the Swiss Canyon Trail is having its 29th edition. That's almost as old as me, which is crazy. People have been running for so long on this beautiful Jura Mountains, and I couldn't disagree more with them with how beautiful this course is. Tough, but beautiful 111K course. We're back with Aleix Toda, with our lead man group. Again, let me remind you, it's not just him, we are watching him, but behind our camera runner, just a few meters behind our camera runners, is a group with Abel Carretero, with Miguel Arceño, chasing Aleix, that is getting just got past the 40K, the Chasson aid station. And they're finishing the downhill to get up once again to 1,500 meters above sea level. After this, they're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful climb. That's gonna be a leg crusher for sure. And we hopefully can get some data, scrape some data from the live tracking, because we having some issues lately, but hopefully we can get some data from them to see what's our top 10 looking like, what's our difference between Marianne Hogan, who's leading right now on the women's side, over Manon Bohard and Audrey, the Swiss lady who was running in third previously in the 30K mark. She's getting to the top now of Tassaron, the highest point on the race, 1,600 meters above sea level. Back with the poles, super focused, as we mentioned earlier today, the Canadian Salomon International athlete that had an outstanding world-class season on her. She's been running for years. He's been a triathlete for over a decade. Also, an interesting story about Marianne is that she's been a guide for blind triathlete, like Paralympic triathlete. But then she jumped, after the pandemic, she jumped to trail running with her, when she discovered she was a diamond in this sport, to become one of the greatest trail runners, ultra trail runners in the world, after her outstanding 2022, as we're back now with our men's leaders.
C'est quoi la question classement, Damien?
We are running together with Aleix Todamas and Wang Fumeng, the Hoka, the Chinese Hoka athlete, who is also on this group of 4 runners who are leading the race. All together now. They are Aleix had a bit of a gap before. Now they are all 4 running together,
C'est le dossard 1, 19 devant.
pushing on the lead. So it's Aleix Todamas leading the Comper Sport athlete with Wang Fumeng in second. And just behind our camera runners is the two Iberics, the Abel Carretero and Miguel Arceño, as we're back with Marianne Hogan, who's gonna get to that summit in a few minutes. Yeah, and we're gonna see that stunning drone shot from the Jura Mountains, from the Jura Mountain range, where we see, as we mentioned before, probably the most Swiss picture you will get to see on the Swiss Canyon Trail. You can see our runners coming on the bottom left quarter, and our drone is gonna go catch up with Marianne Hogan, who was finishing that final uphill. She was charging up with her poles towards that summit. Fantastic race for our leaders today. Both Marianne and our lead group are really pushing hard, trying to nail this win at the sixth stop of the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors. We're now with her. We are now with Marianne Hogan reaching the top. One other summit right now with our camera runner making a fantastic effort to bring us all these beautiful images to wherever you are in the world right now. Let me just tell you, I'm pretty sure we have a French feed going on with our colleague, our good friend Fred Bousseau. If you are around there, you can check on the Swiss Canyon Trail YouTube channel. But let me just switch to Spanish for a second. Si hay alguien por ahí que esté escuchando en español, también puede dejarnos comentarios en el chat y le podemos ir dando algunas actualizaciones de lo que viene pasando en esta Swiss Canyon Trail, esta sexta parada del Gran Canaria World Trail Majors en Suiza. But we're back to English. This is the English feed. But I just want to let everyone know that we can speak a bit of Spanish too, and bring some updates again to wherever you are in the world. I know there's a lot of Spanish people following Aleix, following Abel, and our Portuguese friends following Miguel Arceño. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Argentinians also following Gaby Rueda, Santos Gabriel Rueda, my co-Terranian. As we are back with our men's leaders after we saw these beautiful images from Marianne Hogan reaching the summit. Here it is, Aleix Toda reaching the aid station really close with Wang Fumeng. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Abel Carretero and Miguel Arceño showing up pretty soon behind them. Here is our leader smiling, speaking some French. Aleix Toda. Let's see how he refuels really quick. Abel Carretero also getting the same crew. The Comper Sport and also athletes, Aleix Toda, Abel Carretero leading. Here we see Miguel Arceño with Jordi, the HT brand manager, the team manager, the Portuguese, who had an outstanding also 2023 season. Had a bit of a struggle right now. to the good luck kiss for Aleix Todamas, our Spaniard, who currently continues to lead this 111K race today at the Swiss Canyon Trail. We're having a fantastic, super competitive race out there right now as they get out to a climb, to another climb. We have lost now for a second our lead camera runner, but we are back with Marianne Hogan, with our queen of the day, who's almost reaching the summit there. You can see there the little gap of images, the little delay we have between the camera runner, who you can see in images behind Marianne Hogan, and our drone, who's going to have a beautiful panoramic shot of this summit. If I am not wrong, that is the Chasseron. Chasseron would be in French, if I'm not wrong. Sorry for my ugly French. But that's her. That's our queen of the day so far, Marianne Hogan, our women's leader on the 111K Swiss Canyon Trail, the sixth stop of the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors. It's a bit windy, as we can see on the marking. Well, we can hear the breathing of both Aleix Toda, our current men's leader, and our camera runner, moving up again towards the Col de l'Aiguillon. The Col de l'Aiguillon is the next aid station. They have 9K from what we saw. But yeah, 4 hours elapsed. We just reached 4 hours of the race. And we have right now Marianne Hogan being aided by the man himself. That's her partner, Thibaut Barognan, another renowned world-class athlete, Salomon International athlete, who we just saw a few weeks ago in Transvulcania. He's now supporting his partner, Marianne Hogan, who's currently leading the Swiss Canyon Trail. That's so cool to see. Our lead athletes, what's going on with, we are always wondering how they do it, how they move so fast, how they manage to get so fast, probably on the same trails. If we are running the same race, it's like how they do it so fast, how they manage, how they feel, how they how they prepare a race, such a difficult race, such an interesting race. And we can see now he's gonna do Thibaut is now on his camera, social camera running duties for Marianne. He's gonna get some pretty cool images from one of the probably most scenic, after what we saw today at Croix de Ban earlier on the beginning of the race. Now this summit is also beautiful, and it's actually not for much, but it's the highest summit on this course with 1606 meters of elevation above sea level. So here's Aleix Toda, the Compress Sport athlete, who's been leading so far. He's been running with this few meters, just a few meters in front of the group, of a group of 4. It's actually a group of 4 leaders, but Aleix has managed to be a couple meters in front of him, and he's still charging up the hill in front. Let's see how this strategy pays of not running with the group and just being a few meters in front, as we see Mary and Hogan blasting this downhill. Hopefully, well, she's incredibly talented. She has an incredible running speed, racing speed. So I'm pretty sure those squats are ready to what's coming. But if you were with us earlier, you could see this is a long downhill now towards the upcoming aid stations. But yeah, we are getting to the halfway point of the race. There's still a bunch of hours to go, but Marianne has managed to open a nice gap. Let's see if the drone later can bring us some updates of the rest of the women's podium, which was integrated by Manon Bohart and Audrey. I'm gonna go check. Audrey Virgilio, who was in third earlier today. They were running with a gap of 3-4 minutes around 20k on the 20k mark. So let's see how it goes so far. So let's get to know a bit more our men's leaders. Let's go with Aleix first. Aleix this year so far has won the 73k at the Chianti Ultra Trail in Italy back in March, and he was fourth during the winter in February at the Cursa Cuatro Termes in Spain, a 22k race with almost 1,000 meters of elevation gain. Last year he was seventh at the marathon in Salomon Ultra Pirineu in Catalonia. He was fourth at the Wild 15 Wild Strubel. He raced here. He did a bit of a mix of racing up to 50k with just one long ultra of 73k earlier in the year. He was fourth at the 73k of the Trencasim Pulse, but then from there on he was running races from 40 to 50-ish k, trying to prove his speed. He was top 10 at the Maxi Race Marathon race. He was top 10 at the E51 Eger Ultra Trail, also top 5 at the Wild Strubel Wild 50 that we mentioned before. And in races from the Golden Trail series, as I can see, he was 27th at the Marathon du Mont Blanc and 55th at the Sierre-Sinal, with some amazing times though, like super fast. 2:55 at Sierre-Sinal is crazy fast, as you may know. And he knows he's been running.
On monte à 1200-1300 mètres/heure, 1200 mètres/heure.
He's been running the Swiss Canyon Trail last year, but he ran the 31k especially of following the path of what we've been talking before, of running, doing this step-by-step thing, running the several distances of a race to get to the longer distances. We are now with Marianne Hogan, our women's leader, being surpassed by...
Désolé, je t'ai pas dit là. Allez, ça le fait.
We're seeing the Salomon international athlete as we see Thibaut Varognan running around her, trying to catch some images, probably for their social. They are stepping up their social media game. And I really love also these livestock traps that they're running through on the downhill. So we have, wow, look at that amazing canyon that Aleix Todamas, our men's leader, is running through the right. Wow, what an outstanding course. I'm gonna have to put this race on my bucket list. It's for what we've seen so far, it's mostly runnable. It's not that technical on the trails, and it gets through these amazing forests, the middle of the canyons of the Jura Mountains. A lot of water, a lot of waterfalls also all around. It's just stunning. It's all about the icons of the races, right? This is one of the premises of the World Trail Majors. Independent races that are well established on the ultra running world. They have several editions. They've been there forever. Probably we have a lot of few races like Gran Canaria, like the Mount Fuji 100, like Madeira Island Ultra Trail, races that are well established. Ultra Trail Cape Town, I don't want to miss any of them. Also the Hong Kong 100, races that are renowned on the ultra running world. They've been there for several years, over decades. In the case of the Swiss Canyon Trail, that it's birthing 29 years on this edition, like 29 editions on this 2024 year. Races that are bucket list for almost everyone, that should be done at least at some point, with superb organizations ready always on the details, taking care of the athletes, as you can see right now. Also with some beautiful courses, especially for a longer distance race, for a long ultra, as it is the real 114.8K, the branded 111K that they are running right now, and that Marianne Hogan, our lady on the image right now, is leading over Manon Bohard and Audrey Virgilio. We're waiting for the tracker to update so we can bring you some more information on what's happening on the women's side of the race. Let me just bring you some data about Marianne Hogan so you get to know her better. Marianne, who's been running trails for years now. She comes from a triathlon background. She had dating back from 2015. She's had great performances on the trail and ultra running world in the United States. Just to call out some of them, she was the winner of the 2015 Leadville Trail Marathon, part of the Leadville Trail Series races. You probably heard about the Leadville Trail 100, that famous race where the Tarahumara race back in the day, and where Ann Trayson was second once in the 19s. But we're not gonna be talking trail running history right now. She was also 13th that same year at the championship and the North Face Endurance Challenge California, one of the most competitive races in the history of trail running. She's been part of the Canadian force at the WMRA Long Distance Championship in 2016 in Slovenia. She was 20th there. Getting closer into 2017, she was also part of the Canadian force at the Jura Mountains World Mountain Running Championship. But that same year, she was fifth at the 80K of the Marathon du Mont Blanc. Winner of the Moab Red Hot 55K, a beautiful race in the Moab, Utah. And she won the Transalpine Run. I don't know in what of the formats. She ran the 66K at the Grand Raid de la Réunion in 2019. She was second at the 20, and then we're back after the pandemic, where she had this breakthrough, started to become a breakthrough ultra trail runner in the world, where she was second in September at the Ultra Trail Hurricane 125K. She was second at the 100K in Ultra Trail Cape Town. But then in 2022, it was her year, her breakthrough, definitely breakthrough year, being the winner of the Bandera Endurance Trail Run in January. That gave her the golden ticket for the Western States Endurance Run, the mythical, the classic, the mother of all mothers of the 100 milers. She was third at her debut race in the Western States to make it back-to-back with a second place behind the legend herself, Courtney Dauwalter, at UTMB that same year. Then in 2023, she had a bit of an easier year. She was injured. She had to deal with some injuries, but she was back running the Saigu Trail in China, where she won. She was the winner of a tough 88K with 4,400 meters, 10 hours and 42 minutes, to get back and be second once again at the Ultra Trail Cape Town, who's also part of the World Trail Majors now series. And then she ran in 2024. She ran the Trail Cap de Creus in Costa Brava, in the Costa Brava de Girona, where she won the marathon, the 39K marathon. But now, fast forward to today, to right now, to being 4 hours and 16 minutes elapsed of the Swiss Canyon Trail 111K race, where she is currently leading around the 40K mark.
Allez, bravo, allez, 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 allez.
A fantastic race for Marianne Hogan, who continues to lead the 111K today. Let us know. We see people are joining now our World Trail Major stream. Let us know if you're there. We just want to read you in the chat. Share the stream to whoever. Send this link to anyone. You are probably in a lot of WhatsApp groups and groups of trail ultra running. Bring people to our feed right now. I'm going to switch to Spanish for a second. Si hablas español también por ahí y estás en el chat, no tengas miedo de escribirnos, de hablar un poquito. Nosotros estamos acá listos para traerte algunas actualizaciones, pero necesito saber si hay alguien en español del otro lado para dar esas actualizaciones. Si no, voy a tener que seguir hablando inglés un poquito. Estamos ahora con la líder de las mujeres, con Marianne Hogan, la canadiense, que lidera en este momento los 111 kilómetros de la Swiss Canyon Trail. Pero bueno, volvemos a inglés. We are back to English for a second. This streaming is mostly in English. By the way, I have not introduced myself. My name is Mauri Pagliacci. We are here bringing you all the information, all the best footage we can get. You know, the live streaming thing. It was something we were not even thinking about just 3-4 years ago. But a lot of the technology, together with a lot of brains out there, have made it possible to be able to witness the sport live, straight out from the middle of from the heart of the mountains. In this case, from the heart of the Jura Mountains in the Swiss Alps, to wherever you are in the world watching right now. We have runners towing the line from China, from Spain, from Romania, from Argentina, from Canada right now, as you can see with Marianne Hogan. Almost 500 runners had towed the line for today's start here at the 111K. So it is just plain fantastic, amazing to be able to witness again this. It's funny to have this sort of obstacles, the livestock tramps for our athletes. This is the aid station camera where Marianne is gonna be right now as we see our 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 audience there ready to cheer for Marianne. Our fans out there, our little fans, is just fantastic to be able to see the kids there cheering. Our volunteers there having some refreshments. Some early refreshment at today's Swiss Canyon Trail. All the crews are getting ready there to aid their runners. Still, Marianne Hogan is also running. She was running on the top 20 overall, so we're probably gonna get to see some extra images of the men's leaders from here, from this aid station, before we get to see our women's leaders. So here's Miguel Leza asking, how's the men's race? Currently the men's race is led by four guys. Four guys are leading right now as we are back. Such an opportune moment to get back to our men's leaders. We can give you an update real quick, Miguel. That's the guy who you can see in the yellow kit in the front. It's Aleix Todamas from Spain, the Compesport athlete who's been leading. But he's together with the guy in blue there. It's Wang Fumeng, who's currently second, the Chinese Hoka athlete. But they were really, really close after they got out of the aid station with Miguel Arsenio from Portugal, Anabel Carretero, the Otso, and the HG guys were running all four together. We'll see now what our camera runner can brings us. But so far right now, we have two different strategies there of hiking this interesting, seems to be a really, really hard uphill right now. We have Aleix Toda in front, leading right now the charge up the hill with his power hiking, switching to small steps up, but no pose for him. And then we got Wang Fumeng with this little jog, small steps up the hill, and the poles. Such a big help, for this sort of runnable uphills. But it's just beautiful to see the different strategies of the runners, of our top athletes today, of our top elite athletes that are leading the 111K here at the Swiss Canyon Trail. Voy a hacer una pequeña actualización en español. Tenemos al líder de la carrera, el señor Aleix Todamas, en el kit amarillo ahí adelante de Compesport, catalán de Compesport, junto con el corredor de Hoka, el chino Wang Fumeng, que va ahí con los bastones dándole parejito para arriba. Y muy cerquita atrás de ellos, al menos en la salida del avituallamiento, venían Abel Carretero y Miguel Arsenio. Ahora lo vamos a ver, as we see right now. Wang Fumeng from China is taking the lead at this 111K of the Swiss Canyon Trail, our sixth stop of the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors. We have a switch on the lead on the men's race right now. Wang Fumeng is looking a bit better. His body language is saying, for what we can see, that he's looking a bit smoother, a bit stronger in this uphill than Mr. Aleix Toda, that has been leading the race so far. A fantastic effort for our camera runner, catching up with these guys that are competing, some of the best athletes in the world, probably top 20 in this sort of distances in the world, are battling here right now, and our camera runner is doing a massive effort. Huge shout out for him. Great job for him there. I haven't seen Miguel Eras racing earlier before when the tracking was working, and I haven't seen him also on the images. So I don't think Miguel Eras has finally towed the line of the Swiss Canyon Trail today. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here with us today. And again, just spread the word. Bring people to the chat, to the streaming. We're gonna be. It's already 4 hours 25 minutes elapsed. We're gonna have 3 more hours of streaming before we do a small cut, a small break, a 2 hours break, and then we're gonna be back for the end of the race from 2 p.m. onwards, 2 p.m. local time, 2 p.m. Central European time, to see the end of the race. So, as we see Wang Fu Men, who has just taken the lead of the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail, we're waiting also for the women's race. In any moment, we're going to see Marianne Hogan arriving to the aid station and see how her crew aids her. And yeah, we'll see how the rest of the race unfolds. We are almost halfway through this 111K race. There's still a lot of time to go. So thank you again for being out here with us. Let's just try to keep it up this way. We've been having some beautiful images from the ridge, from the top of what we believe it was the Charceron summit, with both the men's leader and the women's leaders. Now we're back on the following summit, which, if I'm not wrong, they are doing almost 900 meters of elevation gain climb right now, which again is not technical. It's pretty, the trails are pretty clean. It's a single track, even though there's rocks, and it could be a bit rocky up in the summit. It's been pretty much runnable. You're seeing it together with me here, how Wang Fu Meng and Aleix Toda and our unbreakable camera runner are running up the hill here towards what it should be the 48K summit at this should be around 55K. I'm sorry, they're going to do the summit around 55K, 50 to 55K in a few minutes. So we're hearing the struggle of our camera runner here as we see Wang Fu Meng and Aleix Toda crashing up the hill. Let me just do let's just bring you, let's get to know our new leader, Mr. Wang Fu Meng from China, 26 years from the Chinese Hoka athlete. He's been racing. We have some, we're scraping data from him since 2019. He's been racing mostly in China, close to home. Let's see. Let's bring out some of his main results for the past couple of years. His first win was in 2019 in the Rongjiu League Finals. The Luodan 100K was 108K with 5,000 meters of elevation gain with a time of 12 hours and 40 minutes. That's super strong. Then in 2020, right after the pandemic, he ran a lot from August to December. We feel him. But yeah, it's yeah, our friends on the organization here are confirming that Miguel Eras is not racing. Thank you to our crew at Swiss Canyon Trail. I don't know if you guys are hearing me. We just gave the updates to Miguel through the live feed. We are reading the comments here. Bring everyone to the chat so we can have some feedback from our crew. And we were talking about our current men leader, Mr. Wang Fu Meng, who's been racing from 2019. His first international win was in 2022, and it was actually his first international race in Thailand in the Doi Intanon race, the Pagoda 50, the 55K with 3,000 meters of elevation gain. He ran in a stunning 5 hours and 10 minutes. He's a fantastic athlete. He ran 2023 at the Hong Kong 100. He was fifth at the Hong Kong 100. As we have our leader, our women's leader, Marianne Hogan, approaching the aid station, ready to start the climb, the next hard climb of almost 900 meters of elevation gain. She's still looking smooth, continuing with the same pace. Not a crack for Marianne Hogan, not a flaw. Checking out some data, grabbing her. She's a NAC sponsor athlete. Grabbing some nutrition and back to the poles that are going to be handy for this almost 900 meters of elevation gain climb right now. She's looking great. She's not looking... Yeah, she's not looking as she's even suffering a bit. She's, of course, she's pushing. Of course, she's in the middle of a 111K race. But everything seems under control for our women's leader today at the 111K Swiss Canyon Trail. We were talking about, I just want to wrap up on our current men's leader, Wang Fu Meng. He was 8th at the OCC back in August 2023. He was 3rd at the Trans-Jeju 50K. He won the Trans-Lantau race, the 100K at Trans-Lantau, and he also won the 100K just a month after that at the Doi Intanon race in Thailand. But then for 2024, he has a pretty move 2020 for starting with our World Trail Majors partner sister race, the Anta Hong Kong 100, where he was the winner with 10 hours and 16 minutes. Then he ran a bunch of races between March and April in China. Then he took a while to be back racing. he's now leading this 111K at the Swiss Canyon Trail, the sixth stop of the World Trail Majors, the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors, as also is Marianne Hogan, the person, our women on the screen right now. The Canadian who's currently crushing this this 111K race. So let's just go check Marianne Hogan. She's 33 years old. We're back with our men's leaders, and Aleix Toda is again charging up the lead. This is going to be changing for a while now. So we see Wang Fumeng just using one of his poles, pushing towards the summit. The Hoka athlete, I cannot get to see if those are the Hoka max speed. We'll see if our camera runner can stay there to see what's the gap now between our lead group of Aleix Toda and Wang Fumeng. And as per what we could see, that little glimpse we could see behind our camera runner, seems like Abel Carretero and Miguel Arceño, our chasers, are a bit back now. They managed to open a gap over these two mega talented athletes, and that are Miguel Arceño and Abel Carretero. Abel, that we just saw a couple of weeks ago crushing, he was top 30 in Zegama, in the Zegama Iscori Marathon, the probably the most popular marathon in the world, the most popular trail marathon in the world. We saw him racing pretty fast there. And now he's taking this 111K at the Swiss Canyon Trail. So let's just see. For the 2023 just want to see if we can get some data from the tracking, from the live tracking. We can give you some exact numbers, exact times on what our leaders are running. We also want to bring you some updates from the top 10. We're going to have to wait for a second right now as the tracking is experiencing some delays. So once again, welcome to the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail from the heart of the Jura Mountains. My name is Mauri Pagliacci, and we are here at the sixth stop of the Gran Canaria World Trail Majors. Little bit of a that was fantastic. Our runners opening and closing the livestock fences. That was beautiful. It's really important to leave the trails the same as we find them. You know, this is we're just passengers through these forever trails. There's people who take care of the livestock. They take care of these trails every day. They live there, and we are just mere tourists, if we want to call it a way. So we need to take care about our environment, about our mountains, and of course our trails. And these fences are part of it. These fences are part of the landscape, and we need to leave it the way we find them. So that was a beautiful move there by Aleix Toda and Wang Fumeng of opening and closing the fence there. Part of running through the Swiss mountains, running through the Swiss fields. these greens, this amazing palette of greens over the Jura Mountains, over the Val De Travers, or Val De Travers. I'm not gonna try my French anymore. As we see Wang Fu Meng and Aleix Toda about to reach the summit here. One more. This should be the fourth summit that they are doing today, the third big one. They still have one more before they start running up and down the hill. And here she is. This is Manon Bohard, the French Hoka athlete who's running in second right now. There's, if I am not wrong, there's probably between 5 and 10 minutes gap between Marianne Hogan and Manon Bohard, our second woman at today's Swiss Canyon Trail 111K. So that was Manon Bohard getting out of the aid station in 4 hours and 40 minutes elapsed. Chasing Marianne Hogan, of course, Manon Bohard, the French Hoka athlete, in second place. So, our runners are in between now the Breathtaking aid station 47.8K. That's exactly where we saw Manon Bohard just a few seconds ago. And they are moving towards the Col de l'Aiguillon. Aid station. They should be there in around half an hour or so, considering the times they've been doing. So let's see if we can bring you updates from the Bidaboo aid station. Let's see if the tracker is with us right now. And we can bring you some proper information, some proper numbers. We love data. We love numbers. So once again, spread the word. It's almost 5 hours, 4 hours and 42 minutes since the 111K of the Swiss Canyon Trail has been running. So far, we are watching Aleix Toda and Wang Fu Meng, our men's leaders, reaching almost halfway through the race. They are more or less around 52, 53K into the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail 111K. And remember to spread the word, send out this link to whoever loves trail running, loves ultra running, and loves to see racing from home. So bring them up here. It's going to be an interesting weekend of live streamings there. And it's not just us, our sister race in Great Britain is also having their live streaming together with us. The South Downways 100 is also being held right now. So you can just have, a bit of both worlds there. You can hear me here. You can go hear our partner race, the South Downways too. But the most important thing is that you follow this sport, that you get inspired by these runners, by these landscapes, by these images, and get out there and run. It's Saturday. We're probably gonna be out there for a long run. Hello Mary, welcome to the live feed of the Swiss Canyon Trail. We were watching just a few seconds ago our leader Marianne Hogan also charging this same uphill as our men's leaders. She's pretty close to the top 10 men. And just a few, like 3 minutes ago, we saw Manon Bohard, our second lady, through the aid station with the buff for the 8K. And we're back now with Marianne Hogan, our women's leader, the Canadian, who's leading the women's race. And she's got an interesting gap now. I think she's if my calculations are not wrong, she went through the bit buffet station almost 5 minutes in front of Manon Bohard. I'm gonna go do some manual math before until we get the live tracking back. But yeah, I think it was almost 5 minutes the gap between Marianne Hogan, our women's leader, and Manon Bohard, who's running in second. And yeah, we saw this image before. She's gonna be running through a waterfall, like not through a waterfall, but just a side of a waterfall in the middle of a canyon with this massive wall of rocks on her side. It's just beautiful, just it's outstanding. And I would really love to be there. Would really love to go run out there in these trails. No news from Eve Moore. Mary, sorry. Once we get the live tracking working again, I'll be happy to bring you any information of your friends, family, whoever is out there racing. Let us know if you have anyone racing, any favorite top elite athlete there for the win, or even if there's a friend or a family racing, we can also try to bring you some, probably not, of course, not images, but once the live tracking is working, we can bring the name up and yeah, just bring you some information. So one more update: we are watching our leader Marianne Hogan leading the women's race at this 111K. She's followed by Manon Bohard, and for what we could see before, in third place was Audrey Virgilio, the Swiss Hoka athlete, racing in third to complete the women's podium. We're gonna have, we're gonna be having a bit of a gap now on images until we reach the summit and we can see our men's leaders again. But for you to have an idea, oh, there, this is what I was speaking about before. Look at this. On the right, we have a beautiful, stunning waterfall. On the left, this amazing stone wall where Marianne Hogan, our ladies leader, is running through right now. She's gonna go across this this little bridge to run over the waterfall. But it's just, again, just not to be repetitive, but it's part of the premises of the World Trail Majors series of races. It's to have these iconic courses, these iconic landscapes, beautiful courses, organizations that are perfect, that they take care of their runners from first to last. An amazing set of volunteers, and you can see Marianne there enjoying the landscape right now. It must be amazing. I'm pretty sure our camera runner is doing a fantastic effort, and it's just amazing to see all these images. But I'm sure what we are watching, what our eyes can watch through a screen, is not justice of what the real landscape is. So I encourage you all to check out the Swiss Canyon Trail for the 2025 edition. For next year, they have several distances, starting at 16K, jumping to 31K if you're not an ultra fan. But if you are an ultra fan, you have the 3 different sort of ultras: a smaller ultra of 51K, a mid ultra of 81K, and then the crown jewel, the 111K that we're watching right now. We are back with our men's leaders. This is Miguel Arsenio, the Portuguese, and for what we could hear from the from our camera runner, he just told him that he's 2 minutes back from our men's leaders, Aleix Toda and Wang Fumeng. Miguel Arsenio, the Portuguese Sport HG runner, who's charging up the hill right now. He had a fantastic 2023 season with second place at the Gran Canaria Classic. But then he had this blasting win, this just, when those races are perfect for the runners, they win from head to toe, like from start to finish, where everything is dialed, when everything is working fine. At the Salomon Ultra Pirineu in October in the Catalonian Pyrenees, he won the 100K over flawless Miguel Eras. Miguel Eras, the ultra trail legend from Spain. He was this was a bit of an ankle twist for Miguel. But yeah, now he's running in third. Miguel Arsenio, the Portuguese athlete from Sport HG. And we're back now with Marianne Hogan. It would be fantastic if our production team could give us split images there from both Marianne and Miguel, or the lead man. We'll see what they can do. Yeah, it's a massive effort from the production team. It's a lot of people out there on the course bringing these beautiful images, suffering together with the athletes to bring you, for whatever you are in the world, the images of the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail. So let's see. Let's find the 2023 edition results to bring some info, have some references of what happened last year. So Audrey Virgilio, who's running now in third, was the winner in the ladies race last year in 13 hours and 17 minutes. Emily Maroto was second, and Pamela Legger was third. On the women's race, Audrey Virgilio was able to win in 13 hours, 17 minutes. That's almost 22 minutes in front of Emily Maroto, who was second. The French runner was second, and almost an hour and a half in front of Pamela Legger. Different race this year with the higher level of runners, with Marianne Hogan and Manon Bohart running right now in front of her in first and second. Then on the men's side, it was the Italian Francesco Cucco from the Ultra team who took the win in 11 hours and 13 minutes. So that's more or less the reference we're going to have. Francesco, also an international athlete. He won with almost 20 minutes of a gap over Anthony Pipiton from France and Guillaume Deneuve from Belgium. So those are the references from last year's race. We still have a long way to go. We're almost over 5 hours of a race. And remember, we're going to be tuning right now for 2 hours and a half more. We're going to be here until 12:30 p.m. Central European time. We're going to do a little break, and then we're going to come back to bring you the end of the race for both the men and women's side around 3 p.m. European time. So let us know again. It's almost 10 a.m. who are your favorite runners? Who are you waiting for? If there's any friend or family racing today. And again, spread the word, bring the people out here as we wait for some more information, some more data, while watching Marianne Hogan crushing up the hill and the birds in the forests of the Jura Mountains in Switzerland. It's great to hear some ambience noise, some ambience from the heart of the Swiss mountains. Um, with the birds there, joining Marianne Hogan through her journey on this 111K. So thank you again there for bringing the information to our team on the ground. Sunglasses on for Marianne Hogan. While she's been running pretty lonesome so far, pretty alone. Now it's the first time we see a runner behind her, close to her. But she's been fully focused on herself there with on her own, leading this 111K at the Swiss Canyon Trail. It's pretty interesting how lonely is the sport of trail and ultra running. Even though you're starting with another 500 people, you find yourself alone in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the trails, yourself, your mind, your legs. And I think that's one of the hardest parts of the sport, the psychological aspect, the mind aspect of it, of being focused all the time, of not falling apart when things are not going as you expected. And there's so many variables on a 111K race that it's really easy to get out of the I think that was Andris Ronimos from Latvia. I don't wanna miss to confuse people. That was a nice chit chat. Again, it's those microsecond friends you have in the middle of the trails during a 111K race. It's just fantastic. Look at the landscape again. Tell me if it's not inspiring, if it's not Yeah, worth a watch. Who wouldn't like to go run through the Swiss Alps next year? Sounds like a fantastic plan. Super control. I see Marianne checking her watch pretty frequently, trying to get her data, to get everything under control, as she always does. She's a world class athlete. It was him, right? Thank you, Modris. um, my eyes are not failing. It's good, so good to see Andres back also on the trail running world. He had a couple of fantastic seasons. I kind of lost track of him later. I don't know if he was injured or just yeah, just a bit away of the sport. But it's so cool to see him back. They were chatting with Marianne that um, he was not feeling as good as her in the downhill, and we were able to witness that. Our camera runner did a fantastic effort there too, to follow Marianne as she was, yeah, charging the downhill, running really smooth and really strong down the hill. Andrew said that he didn't feel as good as her on the on the downhills. But now we're going up. This is almost a 900 meters of elevation gain uphill. Let's see if I can find. Oh, they're going to a summit. Just want to tell you the proper name. So yeah, as we were mentioning, from Bidaboof, the previous aid station, they have an 8.8 kilometers long uphill with 1,000 meters of elevation gain, 1,013 meters to be exact, elevation gain towards Aguilé de Bombs. Another super scenic, um, super scenic summit. From there, they're gonna go down, and they only have one more big uphill after this. That it's gonna be almost 500 meters, within 3 kilometers, in almost 4 kilometers. Between these two summits, between Aguilé de Bomb and the okay, yeah, the next big uphill they have, the next big climb they have this sort of like up and down thing that it's not hard itself. It's just a leg crusher, especially considering they're gonna be they are reaching right now. They are between the 50 and 60K mark on this 111K. So Félix Rivera López, me voy a tomar el atrevimiento de contestar en castellano. Estimo que serás español y que estarás siguiendo a tus coterráneos, al señor Aleix Toda, que está liderando la carrera en este momento, junto con el corredor chino Wang Fumeng, que iban juntos, primero y segundo, un poquito más adelante. Ahora estamos con la punta de la carrera femenina. Los hombres, que está por la mitad de la subida, que tiene unos 1000 metros de desnivel positivo en 9 kilómetros, cerca del kilómetro 55. Teníamos a Leistoda junto con Juan Fumeng. A 2 minutos lo llegamos a ver al señor Miguel Arsenio, que venía antes junto a Abel Carretero, pero evidentemente, por lo que pudimos ver, se había descolgado un poquito, así que iba solo Miguel Arsenio en tercera posición, así que sería Aleix Toda y Juan Fumeng primero y segundo liderando, 2 minutos atrás Miguel Arsenio y detrás de él Abel Carretero, pero no sabemos cuánto tiempo. Si hay alguien más por ahí que necesite actualizaciones en castellano me dice, pero tengo que volver al inglés en este momento. Sorry for the little Spanish update. We have some Spanish people on the chat. So I'm going to be taking coming and going from Spanish so everybody can learn about what's going on at the Swiss Canyon Trail. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a sweet, fantastic day. I'm going to go silent for a second as I take the second coffee of the day. So we are.
Je vois que ça passe bien, moi, si jamais je suis avec Sunrise.
Keep on climbing with Marianne Hogan, our women's leader. It's almost 5 hours, 6 minutes elapsed since the beginning of the race. Great effort. Great effort from the Canadian, who continues to lead, super solid. We're gonna get images also from Manon Board, who was running in second, from Audrey Virgilio, who was running in third. So we're gonna have to wait now. Para Félix, que pregunta por ahí, no tenemos noticias de Ionel, no lo llegamos a ver en lo que hemos tenido de imágenes hasta ahora. Y encima el tracking no está funcionando, así que será cuestión de esperar, vamos a tener que tener paciencia y para traerles más info tenemos también corredores, más corredores españoles, más corredores argentinos, hispanohablantes, y ojalá podamos traerles info, o por lo menos imágenes o por lo menos información de ellos. Gracias, Félix, por estar por ahí. As I was saying, I'm gonna be switching back and forth from Spanish to English as we have people. We have 2 feeds today, a French feed and an English feed, which is mainly English. But I'll be coming and going from Spanish. So, because we know there's a lot of people interested in the runners, we have a Spanish athlete leading today the men's race, which is Aleix Toda. We have Abel Carretero. We have Ionel Cristian Manole, who's from Romania, but is living in Spain. We have Santos Gabriel Rueda also racing here, the Portuguese athlete, the Portuguese fan base of Miguel Arsenio also, who can understand my Spanish. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being with us today. And again, spread the word. We're going to be bringing really cool images, and it's really cool to have the whole trail running community behind to join us and learn about the Swiss Canyon Trail. Our camera runner is already up in the summit, which is great. We're going to have cool images from the summit too. I don't know if you're going to have footage from the first man or from the top man. We'll see. We'll figure out right now. But it was good to see that he's already up there waiting for some more runners to come through. Yes, we're now in the summit of the Aguilera do Balm. Sorry, we're on the summit of the Aguilera do Balm, waiting for more runners to come through here. As I was saying, I don't know if we're gonna have images from the first of this group of 4 runners that was running together, or if we're gonna have some images of the back of the top 10 men. Hopefully we get something from there, from them, so we can we can have some information on the rest of the top 10. This is the loop, the amazing loop of the 111K from Couvet to Couvet, 114.8 kilometers exactly, with 5,924 meters of elevation gain. And
in the heart of the four-season island, where nature's whispers dance through exuberant peaks and sparkling seas, a journey begins. Here, in the ever-changing beauty of Madeira, where sun and rain, mist and sunshine create a tapestry of challenge and wonder. Through the night they run, fueled by courage and the hope of a new day. They face nature's strength and embrace its magnificence, each step a testament to the strength within. So let's cheer for these modern adventurers, these warriors of the wild. For in their journey, we find inspiration, a reminder of the boundless power of the human spirit. Between the shadows of pain and the light of glory lies the heart of the Ultra Trail. Runners endure the pain, pushing through moments of doubt, to emerge stronger. But it's in the victory of the journey, not just the finish line, where they find the glory. as they conquer Madeira's wild. Their journey becomes part of the island's eternal tale, echoing through time.
And we are back after the commercial break with our women's leader, Marianne Hogan, taking the charge still, trying to reach the summit of the Aguila de Bom in what it is, the 53K mark on today's Swiss Canyon Trail. We had a second there of images of Aleix Toda, our men's leader. Yeah, this is classic in our ultra running, trail running streamings. It's really hard. You can imagine how difficult it is to bring images from whatever in the middle of the mountains. A lot of things gotta be nailed to get smooth images. But we're back. That is our leader on the men's side, Aleix Toda Mas. That's our women's leader. On the female side, Marianne Hogan. We'll be back shortly with more images. If you were here with us before, earlier today, you could see the bright sun, beautiful blue sky, perfect weather. And now they've done a little traverse. They changed from one side of the valley to the other. And you can see right now how cloudy it is. They went a bit north on the course, and a bit a bit south on the course, and the weather changed drastically. And you can see now it's a cloudy day. It's seems a bit humid. Even doesn't seem like it's raining, but wow, it changed really quick. The whole beautiful green landscape that we were talking about before, it's gone. It's gone now with the visibility super reduced because of the fog or because of the low clouds. But anyway, there she goes, Marianne Hogan, still leading the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail. And it's 111 kilometers course. Super solid. Again, she's still super solid. We haven't had extra images from Manon Bohard or Audrey Virgilio. Audrey Virgilio, our defending champion on the women's side. But yeah, it's hard. They are all world class athletes, especially Manon Bohard, that she was podium last year on the Innsbruck World Championships. Let me just find some extra details from Manon Bohard. She was top 10 a couple weeks ago at the Long Trail National Championships in France. She was 8th at Translantal. She was first at the Dodo Trail in the Mauritius Island. And she won Madeira Island Ultra Trail last year, another of our sister races here at the World Trail Majors. So Marianne is being chased by an also super talented, fast athlete. I wouldn't take anything for granted, especially when it's only been 5 hours and 20 minutes in a race that it's usually won around 13 hours. So there's almost more than half of the race to go in hours in distance. She's about to reach the 53K summit here at Aguilé-d'Aubonne and we will see how it unfolds. But also another thing to count on is the loneliness. Running alone so much time can be tough for the mind, for the legs. So we will see how it goes. I would love to hear what Thibaut, her partner, and her crew has to say from what he's seeing straight out from the field there, from the course. But we're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna go silent for a second till we get images again. It's time for me for a little sip of coffee. And we'll be back in just a minute. There you have him, our men's leader, Aleix Toda, still running in perfect form. Now in this traverse they do between the two, the Aguilé-d'Aubonne and the upcoming summit. Yeah, their upcoming summit. They're gonna do this little traverse from summit to summit. It is a total of 13.5K, and they still have 700 meters of elevation gain, mostly on clean single tracks, dirt roads. It's should be pretty fast for these guys that are running an excellent pace today. We will see how it goes. But what we can see so far is that Aleix has made a bit of a gap. They were running side by side with Wang Fumeng, and now he's back on his own again. The Spanish Compass Sport athlete. We will if our camera, I think we have a camera biker right now. If our camera biker can tell us, give us some perspective from the, yeah, looks like he's running by himself. Thank you. Looks like he was listening to me. Right out. He's running by himself right now. So far, as we see Marianne Hogan reaching the summit of the Aguildo Balm in absolutely zero visibility from the landscape, we were able to see that Marianne was enjoying the taking looks around, enjoying the landscape, the beautiful landscapes of that uphill. But as they move south, the weather is not really, yeah, the clouds are really loud on that side of the mountain. So yeah, look at him go. That's our men's leader, Aleix Toda. Still running in super good form. He should be taking a hard guess. He should be getting to the 60K mark soon. That was more or less the gap they had between him and our women's leader, between 5-6K of difference. But a fantastic race for him. Here is still super close. Now there's like 100 meters difference between first and second. They're not running together anymore, probably trying to play that little psychological game on who's pushing, who's feeling better. I don't want to listen to you. So it's great to see Aleix running there. Let's see who's chasing right now. Our camera biker is probably gonna have to wait. Yeah, there's Aleix. He's gonna wait for our second man. That, if I am not wrong, that is still exactly, that is Wang Fumeng. Wang Fumeng from China, the Hoka athlete, winner of this year's Anta Hong Kong 100, also part of the World Trail Majors. He's making his jump to Europe, trying to get a solid win, his first solid European win. And I think he's got the chances. He's got the opportunity of doing it. They've been running side by side with Aleix from the beginning of the race. We're almost 60K now, literally right above the halfway point. Still a lot of race to go. A race that is usually won between 11 hours and 11 hours and a half. And we are only 5 hours and a half into the 2024 edition. So we'll see. What do you think? Who do you think is going to take the win today? It's not just them. The chasing group is really close. Remember that we have Miguel Arsenio super close. We have Abel Carretero also, runners with a fantastic background. Probably the underdog here would be Aleix in this group of four, considering their resumes, their CVs. He's the one that probably didn't have all the cards of winning. Always considering the three guys that he has on his side, but he's been really brave. He's been fighting since the beginning, and he's looking really smooth. He's looking really solid, leading. And what I really like about this sort of strategies is that they are choosing not to run together. They are split in whatever, it's 100 meters, doesn't matter. They cannot listen to each other. They cannot see each other. They cannot talk to each other. And they are pushing themselves because Aleix wants to run away and Wang Fu wants to chase Aleix and try to catch him. So we'll see how this unfolds. And yeah, as they sink in the forest again in this traverse. They have until the next and final big summit of the day. I'm still stunned about the beautiful forest that they have there. It's incredible. Every time they get to a forest, it gets more magical, more beautiful. We saw before with the waterfalls on the sides, then to where the tree line finished, and they got to reach these summits. Um, it's just a great course. It's pretty runnable. I'm more of a runnable courses sort of runner. I'm not really good in technical, so this fits really well. And again, I would choose to do here the 30K. I think that even the 16K should be enough fun to then enjoy the rest of the festival and see uh, the big guys do it at the 111K. So yeah, it's a really good course, a really good race to count for 2025.
In the heart of the four-season island, where nature's whispers dance through exuberant peaks and sparkling seas, a journey begins. Here, in the ever-changing beauty of Madeira, where sun and rain, mist and sunshine create a tapestry of challenge and wonder. Through the night they run, fueled by courage and the hope of a new day. They face nature's strength and embrace its magnificence, each step a testament to the strength within. So let's cheer for these modern adventurers, these warriors of the wild. For in their journey, we find inspiration, a reminder of the boundless power of the human spirit.
Back from some commercials. It is pouring rain right now. This is gonna be probably a game changer. I'm gonna go check the weather to see what it waits for our runners today. But yeah, it's says that from says there might be some thunderstorms today, as we see Wang Fumeng checking in the back. What's the gap? They seem to be out on a clear path as they traverse this little loop, and it's gonna bring them from the Aguildo Bomb back to Chasseon, the summit they did before. They're not gonna reach out the summit again. They're gonna do. They're going to call called Col de Trois. Just before the Chasseron summit that we saw before, where it was sunny and it was beautiful and it was a bright day, and now it's raining, big drops there, and it seems that temperature is going to go down, and that some thunderstorms are awaited for later today. No, I don't think this is going to affect at least the front part of the race. But yeah, it's a game changer. Rain always brings temperatures down. Probably are runners that feel more comfortable or more uncomfortable on the rain. And we're going to see some, definitely some changes on the front, on both of the men's and women's side. Thanks, Armand, for your job behind the controls. And yes, exactly, our camera runners and our camera bikers are doing an excellent job. We see a family there on their family day hike, sharing the trails with our runners. And as we go together with Aleix Toda, who's now refueling, trying to keep the calories up now that with the rain might be a bit more challenging, especially after 5 hours and a half, and with still almost 5 hours and a half in front of you, keeping the fluids, keeping the nutrition on point is key for our guys there to keep this competition going. But Aleix still looks, from what I can see, from what I can read on his body language, it's looks like uphills for him are a bit more challenging. He's that's where Wang Fumeng has been chasing him, catching up with him. But once he gets out on a more runnable section, on a more flat-ish part, he can fly out from him and run away. We're back with Marianne Hogan and Thibaut Barognan that is filming her. Yeah, it's again, social media on point for these two, for this fast couple. They've been doing a fantastic job in social media. If you don't follow them, just go follow Marianne Hogan. You'll find Thibaut there. Also, Marianne Hogan, our leader, as you can see right now, our Canadian leader on the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail. It's there. He's if anyone is interested at all, Tivo is holding an Instax 360 camera. That's one of those uh, 360 degrees cameras that are, yeah, they can bring you images from both front and the back of what you're seeing, and you can actually do a lot of really cool stuff with those, and they have a really nice stabilizer. So if you're interested in filming as I am while running, that's one beautiful gadget together with a lot more, right? We're back to the map. I'm gonna be silent for a second. I'm gonna go for a little coffee break as we get more images from the course. I'm not going anywhere. We're back with Marianne. Charging up the hill. No poles for Marianne anymore. That's interesting to see, considering she still has some extra moments to get to the summit. And I think she's not just checking on her watch on data. I think she has like sort of some sort of a reminder of anything, because every time she looks at her watch, she either drinks or eats something. So it's probably just a reminder to dial nutrition, which is a great strategy also if you are a bit of a lost mind in during the race. It's a great way to force you to eat, to force you to remind you to be eating, and keep the nutrition and hydration dialed. Back to the men's side with our runner Aleix Todamas from Spain. Let's see. Aleix. Aleix is from Catalonia. He's currently living in Switzerland, per what we can see here. Sport athlete, super fun on his Instagram account. So yeah, go take a follow of our leader today, Aleix, who's crushing it today on the 111K of the Swiss Canyon Trail. All right, we are on the H station with our men's leader, Aleix Todamas, and his crew.
Je suis raide déjà.
He's got crew all around on every H station. He is now reaching the Col de Trois H station, almost 15 minutes behind of the prediction of the time. It's the prediction was 11 a.m. It's 10:46. That's 14 minutes before the best time predicted by the organization. He's done already 3,535 meters of elevation gain. He's currently at 1,154 meters above sea level, and he still has almost 300-ish climb in 6K. Not that bad to get up to Chasseron again and finish this little loop on the southern part of the course to cross again to the other side of the valley um, and continue on the last quarter of the race. The Val De Travers. It's really hard for me to say. Um, it's just stunning. It's unfortunate. Well, now the rain has stopped for them. Seem to be on that southern ridge that the storm was coming through, but the weather is not really. It's gonna be unstable for the rest of the day, so probably gonna be really humid out there. And yeah, Lex still seems in control of everything there on his body, on his crew, on his nutrition, on his race. Hopefully, he can keep it up this way and nail probably what's going to be the biggest win of his career so far. Bunch of bugs around on our camera, the cows again, all this green, all these mountains. Couldn't get more of a Swiss landscape. It's just fantastic. So, good morning again. I'm going to say good morning every time that's necessary. Good morning, buenos dias. Where are you guys watching us from? ¿Desde dónde nos están mirando? Si están por ahí, algunos en castellano también. Estamos casi 6 horas de carrera, almost 6 hours elapsed on the race.
Alors du coup, en fait, il faudrait que Florian et David.
And we're watching Aleix Todamas, our men's leader, that just went through the 64.2 kilometers aid station. He's leading over Wang Fu Meng and Miguel Arceño. Wang Fu Meng, who's really close behind him. Miguel Arceño was already 2 minutes back a while ago. And then we have probably outdated updates, but it was Abel Carretero in 4th and Lionel Cristian Manole in 5th. Hopefully we get the tracker working again so we can have some extra information. I'm particularly interested in our Argentinian talent, Mr. Santos Gabriel Rueda. Ciao. Ciao l'amico italiano.
Ok, bah, parce que le projet initial, c'est de s'arrêter au Grand.
Italy has joined the chat.
Dans 12 bornes. Ouais, midi 10.
Beautiful images from Mr. Aleix Toda. Running up the hill there again. Again, must be must be interesting. I don't know if anybody, I have a friend of mine. Okay, so Wan Fu Meng is really close. They're not. Yeah, they're split it for around 100 meters. That's just a few seconds. Nothing is defined yet. They both look great. They both been battling, but again, for what we've seen so far, it looks like Aleix feels better when it's more runnable, when the terrain goes a bit flatter. But once they start going up the hill for a second, the um, the Chinese athlete Wang Fumeng gets closer to him. Cuts the gap's almost to zero. And yeah, this is there's only one, even though there's a bunch of more smaller uphills there. There's just one more big uphill. Um, so we will see what's Wang Fu's strategy. So thanks to our friend chatting offline with my friend Fernando Gonzalez, one of the heads behind the World Trail Mayors. This brand new series of races of, as we were mentioning before, independent races, um, races that have their icons, that have their path, that have traversed a path on the ultra running world. Still specific for ultra running, their races are all over, let's say 80, 90K, up to 100 miles, with iconic events, with iconic places, sort of a tour of bucket list races that are. That's great. We're here hearing now Aleix Toda chit chatting with our camera runner. That's also good for, probably good for the brains. But yeah, again, back to World Trail Mayors. We have good competition so far. On the women's side, we've had already 2 wins by the one and only Courtney Walter. Courtney has raced Gran Canaria this year, and 100 miles at Mount Fuji, both in February and April, for the following the World Trail Mayors series. I don't know, Ferry, if you're listening, just you can throw me the primicia, the first-hand information if Courtney's going to be running some other of the World Trail Mayors races for the rest of the season. I know she's starting with her summer calendar soon. But yeah, it's interesting to see. We had in Madeira Island Ultra Trail, we had Martina Balmasoy win the long race. Now here we have Marianne Hogan So it's gonna get competitive with still a bunch of races to go. This is the sixth stop of the series, together with the seventh that is happening at the same time as we speak in Great Britain. But the interesting fact is that we have a bunch of runners that are today um, that have been following that have been and they are following the series so far for towards the final ranking, toward the final leaderboard. Um, like Harry Jones, who's in the top 10, like Wang Fumeng, who's currently almost leading the race, Abel Carretero, who's in the top 4, Lionel Cristian Manole, Miguel
Alors pour
Arsenio.
info, les deux suivants sont pas loin.
They
Il
are
reste également le
signed
podium.
to follow
Plus de 10 minutes.
the series
Il est juste derrière le chinois, 100 mètres.
through
Et après, ça
throughout
va
the
être, ça
year,
va être
throughout this
relativement
first
limité.
season, that it
Côté
looks like
espagnol quand même.
it's going to be a blast success. Um, Especially considering there are not many ultra running, just pure ultra running tours like this anymore, series of races anymore. So they come here to, they've created um, this series of events to take a step on a place that has been left out by other series. And it's really good. It's really refreshing to see new faces, new and old faces, new and familiar faces already taking the lead on this series. And it also gives the opportunity of runners that are not as famous or as famous as others to showcase themselves, to show themselves and step up on the international scene, as for example um, Abel Carretero, who's going to be racing also Quebec Mega Trail after this race in Canada. And yeah, of course, Santos Gabriel Rueda, who was top 10 at Trans Gran Canaria this year, the Argentinian, and now he's here running probably in the top 10. Once we get some information from the tracking, we will bring you something else. So I'm gonna go silent for a second. I think we're gonna have to wait for a couple more minutes to get more images. And stay tuned. We still have 1.5 hour more of this morning session on the Swiss Canyon Trail 111K. We're gonna go do a little break, and we're coming back after in the afternoon for the finish and how this race unfolds. It's gonna be super interesting. We have a blasting competition on the men's side with Aleix Toda and Juan Fumeng leading, with Miguel Arsenio and Abel Carretero chasing, Lionel Cristian Manole, Santos Gabriel Rueda, and a bunch more of fast guys trying to sneak in the top 10. And also on the women's side, we have Marianne Hogan leading straight out from the gun, with Manon Bohar chasing, and our defending champion Audrey Virgilio in third.
In the heart of the four-season island, where nature's whispers dance through exuberant peaks and sparkling seas, a journey begins. Here, in the ever-changing beauty of Madeira, where sun and rain, mist and sunshine create a tapestry of challenge and wonder. Through the night they run, fueled by courage and the hope of a new day. They face nature's strength and embrace its magnificence, each step a testament to the strength within. So let's cheer for these modern adventurers, these warriors of the wild. For in their journey, we find inspiration, a reminder of the boundless power of the human spirit. Between the shadows of pain and the light of glory lies the heart of the ultra trail. Runners endure the pain, pushing through moments of doubt to emerge stronger. But it's in the victory of the journey, not just the finish line, where they find the glory. As they conquer Madeira's wild, their journey becomes part of the island's eternal tale, echoing through time.
We're back after a commercial break with the drone. The drone is back up. This is, I assume this is the men's leaders. This little road that was right after the aid station at the Col de l'Aiguillon. Sorry, at the Col de Roots. And we are seeing now, that is Ionel Cristian Manole. That's, according to the information we have, that should be our fifth runner. That's a Romanian living in Spain. Ionel Cristian Manole, Félix, si estás por ahí, tenemos a Ionel en imagen. En este momento, corriendo ahí pasadito el kilómetro 57. This is right after 57K, the aid station at the 57 kilometers mark. Another beautiful, beautiful field of greens and forests. Some cows also there. Ionel, who's coming from a breakthrough year, he's always been there. Ionel is a guy who's always there. He's always competing, always competitive, always in the top 10. But this year, together with his co-Turanian Raul Butasi, they had this fantastic race at Gran Canaria in a super stacked field. He was third. Raul Butasi was the winner. Miguel Era, who was second, and he was third at this year Gran Canaria Classic. He's a firefighter, if I'm not wrong. I just don't want to talk nonsense. But Ionel is always, since he started in the trail running world, he's always been there racing on the at the top of his level. He just came from the European Off-Road Championships. He raced the just a week ago in France for the Romanian team. He was 21st on a super weird, rainy, fast race. He did a 57K with 3,500 meters race in 5 hours 32, which speaks of his incredible talent. He won. He was there at Gran Canaria in February, and he won the Ultra Mediterranea 46K back in January last year. He had on his the two races he probably had as a target as our Gran Canaria and UTMB. He was DNF, but he was third at Peñagolosa, the Maratoi Miglia of Peñagolosa, which is also a classic race in the European world. He was top 20 on the long world championship in Innsbruck. And yeah, he was fourth at the famous Transvolcania Ultra Marathon. We can go with those sort of top 3, top 4, top 5, top 10 results in big races for sure for Jonan. He's a mega talented athlete, but again, I would say his major breakthrough race was this year Gran Canaria, the classic Gran Canaria race where they battled together with his Romanian fellow athlete Raul Butasi and the man, the myth, the legend Miguel Eras for the win, where he ended up in third. Now he's running, according to what we read from previous aid stations, he was running in fifth. So it's probably still Abel Carretero in fourth, but we will wait to see if we can identify some more athletes from our drone shot here on this beautiful chateau there in the heart of the Swiss Alps, on the Jura Mountains, on this Swiss Canyon Trail. Let us know if you're there. Again, if you're watching us, if you're hearing us, you're probably doing a late breakfast, preparing an early lunch, or whatever you're doing. We'll be happy to talk to you, to chat with you, waiting for some more runners to come through and getting weird, like crazily inspired for this amazing landscapes. I'm gonna go do my run later today, probably pretty inspired. I'm gonna have to take a nap, and then for so much talking I'm gonna go do some exercise. Of course, look at this beautiful town we have there. If I'm not wrong, this must be Saint Croix. Should be Saint Croix, the town of Saint Croix. As we see a runner coming through there. According to the split 6, which I believe we have a confused chat member. Oh, this is the aid station at Col de Serrois. This is the aid station at Col de Salwats. 64.2K. Runners are coming there, as you can see. They're gonna go across the road. Thanks to our volunteers for helping there, for keeping them safe. And of course, for the drivers and the town itself for respecting the race. Let's try to see if the drone can come down as much as possible to see who is the runner that we're seeing there. I don't think it's gonna be possible. With Lionel was easier because he had his big K, his Team Big K jersey, and that was easy to identify. And if you're in the chat and you can see and you can identify, you have like Hawkeye, and you can see who this runner is, you can let us know. But yeah, fantastic images again from our drone pilot that has been crushing it during the whole day today. All right, we're back with some beautiful, again, it's not about the images are fantastic. Again, we would love to hear what inspires you to get out there, what makes you choose a race, what makes you go out there and sign up for a challenge. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be an ultra or anything, it's just what makes you go out, choose a race, sign up, create, just travel there. We know how complicated it is to get from in between, from race to race. So let us know. In my opinion, for myself, it's just the whole experience, the challenge of being out there on an interesting course, the that my body allows me to transit, so I'm not putting the organization in any trouble, and it's just traveling, knowing new places. With my wife going out there, she's also a runner, so being able to share with her too is pretty cool. So what makes you choose a race? If there's anyone there, we want to know, so then we can tell it to the World Trail Mayors guys and make the races even more interesting for the rest of the world. Aid station food, says Armand. Absolutely. We were watching earlier today that the aid station was pretty well stacked. So this might be one of the races we can, we should put on the bucket list to go eat. There's probably some great cheese on the aid stations of the Swiss Canyon Trail. So we're back with our leader, Aleix Todamas, the Catalonian living in Switzerland, Sport athlete. He's still running in great form. let's see if we can get some images also of what's the of his main chaser, Guan Fu Meng. 34 years for the guy from Catalonia, the guy from Spain. Team Compress Sport for him. Who's again, I think having his breakthrough race. He did a fantastic race in Chianti in March, but I think he didn't have such a massive win against the field like this one so far. So I think he should be really, really happy about it. Views are plainly amazing too. We will see what's the exact gap between him and Guangfu. Be great, but as we were saying, once Alex can get to run, can get his running legs rolling, that's where he splits out from Guangfu, and then when he gets to another uphill, it's he cuts all this gap, and the race becomes again super interesting. And again, nothing is said. Let's just see if our camera runner can give us a little bit of an update of what's happening behind Aleix right now. So we were saying Aleix Todamas from Team Compress Sport for gear, from Team Infisport for nutrition. Some interesting fact is that he's got a 2:27:29 marathon, which is it's funny because the ultra runners are the so-called slow runners, but now I think that's old story, and it has never really been that way, because these guys if running a 2:27 marathon is not for everyone, but then also managing to transfer that to a longer race, to a longer distance event, it's even better. We're having little glimpses of the tracking. Let's see if they can bring us some information about that.
In the heart of the four-season island, where nature's whispers dance through exuberant peaks and sparkling seas, a journey begins. Here, in the ever-changing beauty of Madeira, where sun and rain, mist and sunshine create a tapestry of challenge and wonder. Through the night they run, fueled by courage and the hope of a new day. They face nature's strength and embrace its magnificence, each step a testament to the strength within. So let's cheer for these modern adventurers, these warriors of the wild. For in their journey, we find inspiration, a reminder of the boundless power of the human spirit. Between the shadows of pain and the light of glory lies the heart of the Ultra Trail. Runners endure the pain, pushing through moments of doubt to emerge stronger. But it's in the victory of the journey, not just the finish line, where they find the glory. As they conquer Madeira's wild, their journey becomes part of the island's eternal tale, echoing through time.
All right, we're back online with our men's leader, Aleix Toda, reaching again the summit of Chasseron, almost 70K into this 111K Swiss Canyon Trail. The 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail, which is the sixth stop of the first season of the Gran Canaria World Trail Mayors. Sharing the trail. Oh, sorry, Mr. Hiker. Sharing the trails there with the daily hikers, these super amazing mountains with the lake behind there. And we see one sorry, that's Abel Carretero. Wow. The Otso runner, Abel Carretero, also Spanish, is chasing and reaching. Aleix Toda, they're going to be running together now. Let's see where Guan Fu Meng stayed. A bit back, but Abel Carretero is doing his search now, reaching the 70K, one extra quarter of the race. There's still a lot of battle to go on. Somewhere behind here should be Miguel Arsenio too. But Abel Carretero, one of the uprising stars from Spain's ultramarathon scene. We see Abel now, as we've seen today, as Aleix is not using poles, he always switches from power hiking to this little jogging, and Abel taking advantage of his height, his poles. Fantastic search from Abel Carretero. We may see another change in the front of the race. As we were mentioning before, Abel, who's chasing the final ranking of the World Trail Mayors, he's also benefit today with the absence of Miguel Eras and Raul Butasi, first and second on Gran Canaria earlier this year. They were having a couple body issues, a couple not injuries, but almost injuries, and that they had tried to avoid. They tried to avoid the extra effort. The season is just they are reaching halfway of the season, and they didn't want to make this extra effort here, save the bullets for later, and we'll see how it unfolds for them later. Probably at the Grand Raid des Pyrénées in September, October. We see these two guys now battling. Aleix Toda still on the lead, still with the charge of the race. And Abel Carretero, who patiently reached back to the front of the race and is now running together with Aleix Toda. We see we lost the images there. Yeah, they are back. The ski resort there at Chasseron, they've done, this is a little loop. As you can see, when they put the map there, wrapping up this little loop on the south of the course. They summited this same mountain on the other side. Now they're not going up to the summit, but they're going halfway through it to turn left, if I'm not wrong. And they are going on a pretty drastic downhill towards the other side of the valley. They're going to go down. They're going to transit Saint-Olivier. And they're going to go up again on the ridge on the other side of the valley to take on the last 36K of this Swiss Canyon Trail, 111K. Again, we saw some rain, we saw the sun, low clouds, blue skies, interesting mountain day out there. They're starting to go downhill. We will see what's the strategy for Abel, especially. We know Aleix is going full on leading and keep on taking the lead, keep on setting the pace and having the race under his control. But Abel has surged. Abel has come on. He probably had over 2 minutes of a gap between him, between Aleix, Guanfomen, and him. So he's already made an effort, but we believe there's still a lot of race to go. So we'll see where he attacks, if he attacks, or where Aleix is doing that, and see who resists and who doesn't. It's still 6 hours and a half elapsed for this 111 kilometers. It's a total of 114 on the real paper, but yeah, we will see right now. Let's see. All right, we have the tracker. Fantastic. We've had 8 runners go through Col de Trois which was the 64.2K mark. That was Aleix Toda leading. That was 50 minutes ago. I just want to give you an update on the top 10. We have 8 runners that came through. It was Aleix Toda with Wang Fumeng, and almost a minute back from them, it was this group of Miguel Arceño and Abel Carretero. And then the gap between them and the 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8, it's pretty big. So we have a group of 4 completely split from a lone runner, which is Jonel Cristian Manole in 5th, and then another gap between 6th and 7th, which are Harry Jones and Lucien Epinay. And then another big gap between those two and Tristan Blanchard, who's running in 8th. So from what we have, it's Aleix Toda leading. Now with Abel Carretero behind them, it's Wang Fumeng, Miguel Arceño. Then in 5th, split from this group of 4, is Jonel Cristian Manole alone. Then it's Harry Jones, Lucien Epinay, and Tristan Blanchard. Hacer una pequeña actualización en castellano ahora que nos está funcionando el tracker. Lideran en este momento, por lo que estamos viendo en las imágenes, el señor Aleix Toda con el señor Abel Carretero. Un poquito más atrás de ellos vienen Wang Fumeng con Miguel Arceño. Y separado de este grupo de 4 que viene ahí apenas dividido por unos 2 minutos, viene Jonel Cristian Manole completamente solitario y unos 8 minutos detrás de Jonel y ya unas 25 minutos detrás de los líderes Harry Jones y Lucien Epinay juntos, y en 8ª posición, lejos de ellos, el señor Tristan Blanchard, también de Suiza, ya a unos 30 minutos de la punta. Así cierra este top 10. Mientras vemos que comienza la bajada, se despiden de esta última subida en Chasseron, Aleix Toda y Abel Carretero. So we're back to English. We're giving a quick update while we see Aleix Toda and Abel Carretero start going down the hill. Let's find out on the previous aid station. The aid station at kilometer 57, we had more data there with Cedric Chavet and Alexei Tolstenko wrapping the top 10. Ramon Krebs, Andres Ronimois. And then in 13th overall was Marianne Hogan going through, Yurika Reger, and Manon Bohar, the second woman, in 15th. So the podium, 2 of the podium of the women's side, are running in the top 15. That's Marianne Hogan and Manon Bohar. The real gap between them is of 11 minutes. So we're going to have to wait. It's a huge gap already between the 2 of them, but we're going to have to wait for a second to get some extra information. It's great. The tracker is working right now. Let's see if we have some extra runners coming through called the Trois. And that's it. It's in 6 hours, 28 elapsed. That's 9 minutes ago. It was Alexei Tolstenko in 9th, running through the 64.2 kilometers mark. And Cedric Chavet in 6:29.06, running in 10th. Alexei is now 9th on the race. Alexei Tolstenko, who was the winner of the 2023 Ultra Trail Cape Town 100 miles, also Ultra Trail Cape Town part of the World Trail Mayor Series. Alexei, who has also who has also ran a bunch of great races around the world. He was third at the Patagonia Run, 100 miles in 2023. This year, he had to drop out because of some stomach issues. But he's a fantastic, the Adidas Terex athlete. He's a fantastic athlete who's also on the rise. He's battling really hard to be one of the world-class ultra runners, and he's coached by the Dmitry Mityaev himself. So he's got a great coach, a great teacher on the ultra running world. So he's now running in top 10, and I believe he's also chasing some of the World Trail Majors points towards the final leaderboard. So yeah, we will see how it goes for Alexei, who's now sitting in the top 10 of the race. Now, this is one of the points we were mentioning earlier today, where our runners are going to be the runners we are following, who are the leaders of the 111K race. They're going to start crossing paths with the runners of the smaller distances. Remember, we have an 81K, a 51K, a 31, and a 16K race going through. Going all together. So yeah, we'll probably see some madness here on the smaller trails, but then they always have these breathable open dirt roads where they can pass and go a bit easier. But look at the pace both Aleix and Abel are taking. What's your bet? Who do you think is going to take it today? They both look great, and again, in the most technical parts, it looks like Aleix is suffering a bit more. And Abel is it's an all-around fantastic athlete. We're back with our leader. And yeah, she was 11 minutes behind her. And Audrey Virgilio, the defending champion, is in third. She's running alone now. She's 25 minutes behind Marianne Hogan, our leader, and 14 minutes behind Manon Bohard. The gaps are already pretty interesting in between the ladies race. We'll see how it goes. Still super early. We were speaking about 13 hours leading time for Audrey Virgilio last year. So they are almost halfway through the race. We see a little slip from Abel Carretero there. Hopefully he can go down there with no accidents, no issues. Just the little shenanigans, obvious shenanigans from a downhill in the middle of the mountains. They're catching up in pace. Aleix still in control, and Abel chasing. Um, I'm wondering what's going to happen here. I'm wondering what's the strategy going to be for both of them. Federico Cuco, ciao Federico, is asking about probably his brother, Francesco Cuco, who was the winner of the 111K last year. He's racing the 81. As our friends from World Trail Majors were saying you in the chat, you can now check on the live tracking that's back online. And unfortunately, we're going to have images only from the 111K. So thank you for being out here, for watching, for being with us during this streaming, and the best for Francesco, who's we were mentioning before. He's a fantastic athlete from the ultra team. I'll go back on the tracker to the fifth point, which was, as we see Marianne Hogan reaching Col des Soroats, getting her crew. Look at that, some sparkling water for Marianne, the Canadian athlete from the Salomon International team, with her crew. Some nutrition. Something that's not fruits, that's I think it's something on the salty side to cut a bit with all the sweetness of the racing food. Some solids, they're always good, especially after 6 hours and 40-ish minutes. Great job. Like she's been superb on the aid stations. She's been spot on, not a second wasted, just straight out to her business, grabbing what she needs. Just a quick glimpse on the aid station, and in less than a minute she was out on the course. Our leader Marianne Hogan went through Col des Soroats. Let's see if we have proper timing for her. Not yet, but that was 6 hours and 45 minutes approximately for our women's leader. Continues to charge. She still has this interesting uphill right now, and then the downhill that I think is going to be favorable for her. We saw her running earlier today, and she was just blasting down the hill, completely solid. It's definitely one of her strengths. And as we see a photographer giving it all to get the best shot. And yeah, she still looks in comfort, and she's got a great gap between her immediate followers. Let's see how it goes. All right, now she's standing in 12th. 6 hours 44:14 is the exact time for Marianne Hogan at Col des Etoiles. Is 64K into the 2024 Swiss Canyon Trail. Oh, she's got some traffic there. Oh, they are very careful, guys. Yeah. What you doing on our field, lady that runs? That's so cool. Little bit of a close encounter with the cows from Marianne. All good. but it's part of the game on this ultra running thing. Now we have side by side our men's leaders, our ladies leader, and side by side as Abel Carretero and Aleix Toda. They're running, they're chatting, chit chatting. And let's see how they get to the next aid station. Now every single minute is gonna count. They should be close to Gorge de Novo, 76K of the 111 kilometers. It's at the end of the downhill. We will see how it goes for them too. But it's a great race for, especially for Abel Carretero, who's coming, chasing, who has had to cut the gap between him and Aleix Toda, our leader. I'm wondering what happened to the Chinese athlete, to Wang Fu Meng, if he was left out by the Spaniards, and also for Miguel Arsenio, the Portuguese, who's been who's also been chasing all day to get closer to our leaders. I'm gonna go silent for a second. I'm gonna switch mics and get back to you right away. All right. Madeline says cows. Yeah. Cows are great. They've been out there during the whole day, being the first row spectators of this fantastic event. We're watching right now the Swiss Canyon Trail, 111 kilometers, the sixth stop of the World Trail Mayors, the Gran Canaria World Trail Mayors, to name it correctly. And Marianne just had to ask for permission for a second. She was running through their trails, because I think the cows are owning these trails, and yeah, they're super. It was just a magnificent moment, and hearing the cowbells is always cool. Here he is, Miguel Arsenio, running in third. Miguel Arsenio, the Portuguese, is running down the hill, chasing both Abel Carretero and Aleix Toda, the Sport HG runner, who's also trying to gain a couple of World Trail Mayor points after two not so good races, races where he had to retire, to withdraw, at Gran Canaria in February and Madeira Island Ultra Trail in April. So he's coming for, a bit of an ankle twist there for him. He's coming for his first finish at the World Trail Mayors race in 2024. He was second last year at Gran Canaria. He won Ultra Pirineo, Salomon Ultra Pirineo in October last year, and in full dominance. Then he's had a bit of a low point so far after that in the season, and now he's running in third. He's running in third, chasing Abel Carretero, Analej Toda, he's looking great. He's always full on. He's got a great form also, and he seems to be pushing really hard to go chase. He's on difference to comparing him to what Aleix has done today. That he went right out of the gun to lead the race, to be strong from the beginning. Miguel is a bit more conservative. He's a more conservative runner, and he knows that he can run really fast from the second half of the race on. He's always running progressively. Now we see Jordi from HG Sports, which is the brand that supports Miguel. He's the brand manager and the team manager for Sports HG. But yeah, he's a progressive runner. He's always catching up and trying to race from the back. And this is exactly what we're seeing now with him. He's now running in third for what we can see and chasing the lead pack of Abel Carretero and Aleix Toda. I wouldn't give up or count him out on the fight for the win. There's still a lot of kilometers to go, so we will see what the Portuguese Miguel Arsenio can do. Marian Hogan sitting actually in 12th position overall, first of the women, still running super fast. She's taking it easier on the uphills and charging when she gets to a flatter part through a flattish part through a downhill. She goes a bit faster there, and she's been more conservative in the uphills, which makes absolute sense considering it's a 111K race. Specifically, she just went through the 64.2 kilometers mark. She should be up again at Chasseron to go down to Gauche de Nouveau at 76K. Almost noon here in Europe, almost noon, which marks that we are reaching the 7th hour of racing for these brave hearts, for these talented athletes, talented runners that are traversing the 111K of the Swiss Canyon Trail. We're going to be going for a break in half an hour, just to let you know, and we will be back in the afternoon to see how the story unfolds, how it finishes. And yeah, now that Miguel Arsenio has come to the talk too, has joined the conversation, we're definitely going to have some battles towards the end of the race. Again, let us know in the chats if you have any favorite runner, any family or friends racing. I was gonna give an update of a previous aid station because they were asking. We haven't spoken much about the ladies, so let's see. We have anything from Col de l'Aiguillon? Yeah, so from Col d'Aiguillon, that is the 6-8 station, which is 57K. On the race, when Marianne Hogan was leading there in 6:09, Manon Bohar was second in 6:20. Audrey Virgilio was third in 6:34. But we have news from Eve Moore from Great Britain. She just went through in 6:53. That's 5 minutes ago. She just went through the 57 kilometers 8 station mark. She's 46 minutes behind the leader, but she's still also on the race, which is fantastic. Let me just give an update on the top 10 of the women. On on the previous aid station that was before the big uphill, which was Bidebouf. 46K was, of course, Marian Hogan leading, Manon Board second, Audrey Virgilio third, Eve Moore in fourth, and then Christine Selman in fifth, Virginia Law in sixth, Sylvain Cousseau in seventh, Fanny Girardin in eighth, Celine Bernasconi in ninth, and Chloe Oxton Buro in 10th, rounding up the top 10. So remember, the tracking is working right now. Our friends at the World Trail Majors left the link in the chat if you want to go see where your family, where your friends are. You can just go there and see it by yourself. Don't wait for me to read it to you. Three more runners have gone through after two more runners have gone through after Marianne Hogan at the Col de Trois aid station, the 63.8 mark, which are Andres Ronimois, the Latvia representative in 13, and Jurik Areger from Switzerland was in 14th position through. Do a quick wrap before we close. They're closing in just a few minutes for this first section. Again, it's been already It's been already gone. The race has already gone through 75 kilometers of the race. We already have some information from the...
In the heart of the four-season island, where nature's whispers dance through exuberant peaks and sparkling seas, a journey begins. Here, in the ever-changing beauty of Madeira, where sun and rain, mist and sunshine create a tapestry of challenge and wonder. Through the night they run, fueled by courage and the hope of a new day. They face nature's strength and embrace its magnificence, each step a testament to the strength within. So let's cheer for these modern adventurers, these warriors of the wild. For in their journey, we find inspiration, a reminder of the boundless power of the human spirit. Between the shadows of pain and the light of glory lies the heart of the ultra trail. Runners endure the pain, pushing through moments of doubt to emerge stronger. But it's in the victory of the journey, not just the finish line, where they find the glory. As they conquer Madeira's wild, their journey becomes part of the island's eternal tale, echoing through time.